Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Whew. It's taking a little while to load up. Hopefully it goes well and I don't have to switch. Because it is taking a little while. There we go. Good afternoon, good afternoon. It is the one, the only Natural Lady Boss L Boogie, and I am here. I know I didn't do it Wednesday. I had a lot going on. Playing a little Raheem Devon in the background. This your first time tuning in, let me just introduce you to me. I am the one, the only Natural Lady Boss L Boogie. I am the creator of the Power Mommy Moves. I'm creator of the Single Parent Chronicles. I've created it. I don't own the rights to the music, but I had to play Raheem Devon. This is one of my favorite songs. That is called Woman. But this weekend was a phenomenal weekend. I was just talking to Periscope about it and let you guys know here that I was a part of Woman Evolve 2020. If you don't know what that is, it is a event. It is a movement that Pastor Sarah Jake Roberts had created some time ago, and I've always really really my my mother's cat really wants to talk now. Um, but it was a phenomenal weekend. Like I said, she created this movement. She created this. I always wanted to go. She usually has it in Omari. Yeah. 1 second. Can you get Flash some food because he's interrupting my live? Told you whenever you go in here, you don't know what you're going to get, so I don't cut anything out. But but she created it to just transform so many of us. And this weekend was just another way. I wanted to go 2 years ago, but I didn't get a chance to. So I was glad that this time I was able to do it virtually. And I not the best person when it comes to like meeting women because I've never really gotten along with women, so to speak, when I was younger. You hang out with them, and then you could see the cattiness, and it was like, I'm gonna go hang out with the fellas. So the tomboy, getting all the tricks from them to see, like, okay, so this is how y'all do with women. Okay, so this is what I gotta look out for. So that's why some people tell me that, I kind of could see the bull before it comes when it comes to men. But it was such a transformation that I knew that I had to do today. I was like, there's nothing really to talk about. We sipping and saving, but it's definitely about change today. So what I'm going to be talking about, if you saw what this is about today, it is all about change, right? So it's the change in you. Whew, Lord have mercy. Like I said, I'm still reeling from this weekend because when they say that they snatched edges, they snatched off lashes, they snatched off everything. It was so powerful, and the connections I've made, oh my goodness. Like, I could just imagine that if I was actually there in person. Corona, you got to go because next year it's over. Next year, I'm hoping next year that it's not around the time where I'm on one of my events for my business with Nove. So please, can we just make sure? Please, can we make sure that it's like that? But what I want to talk about today is about change. You'll see me go back and forth because now, since I've changed my setup, I have my camera here for my Periscope audience. Had to fix that. So what I'm gonna talk about is change, like I said. So are you stuck in your old ways? I am sweating like crazy. Are you stuck in your old ways? Is it something about where you at that is just comfortable, right? Of course, we call that our comfort zone. But I want to read you a quote I don't know who wrote this, it's unknown. But it says if you do not create change, change will create for you. So if you don't get up and change, no matter what it is, change is going to happen for you, whether you like it or not. And it's better to invoke the change yourself because you can control it, you can ease yourself into it, things like that, instead of it just automatically happening and it's springing up on you, right? So a lot of times people are resistant to change, but change itself is constant. We're always changing. We change our hair, as you can see. We change our hair, we change clothes, we change jobs, we change people within our relationships. We change all the time. Change is constant. You know, you change your finances with a split second, you know, but it's just pretty much change is inevitable. People are like, no, change is inevitable whether you like it or not. So when you initiate your change for yourself, it's pretty easy to adapt to it, don't you think? Pretty much is, because like I said, you're able to adjust to the change that you're setting up. But what about those unplanned and unexpected changes? Like we just had an unexpected change when it came to this virus, right? Even though this virus has been around since last year, and actually the starting virus has been around since 2002. So this virus has been around for years. It's just that now it's more out in the open. It's still dangerous. We still have to be careful, things like that. However, it was unexpected that the world basically shut down, right? So what people usually avoid change or changing. They prefer to stay in that comfort zone, which I mentioned earlier, right? But if you haven't noticed, nothing grows in your comfort zone, right? So you can be like, no, I'm not going to change. I'm going to stay where I'm at. It's comfortable. It's nothing else for me out there. But nothing grows in your comfort zone. And I can attest to that. It was a lot of things I wasn't really um, set to expect or accept, I should say, when it comes to change. It was a lot of things that, change is just like, okay, uh, I'm not sure how, and it might not be so much how you will react to the change. It's sometimes you thinking about how other people will react to your change. Now I'm to the point where it's like I really don't give a damn about how anybody else feels about the change, because the change is for me. It's about me. The change is for my family, for my son, for my mom. Like, it's a whole lot of change that's happening now that a lot of people is going to be like, wow, I had no idea that that was going on. Like, yes, because of change. But once you get the courage and take that first step to change, your life will become so much better. And like I said, I stepped out of another shell, another layer of the comfort zone when I joined Woman Evolve this weekend. Woo, let me tell you, I'm definitely gonna be hashtagging all weekend. But I know I'm set up. I've already been put on the path. And it's one thing that was said this weekend when you're like, stuff is good. You know what you're doing is good, it's working, but you're still scared. You're still hesitant about it, and it's just like, maybe I shouldn't. But then you forget that you have the Almighty with you, right? So sometimes you're doing it, and then you'll get a slap in the back of your head, like, didn't I tell you to go ahead and do that? Because I get that slap a couple times. I've done that slap to people in the back of their head, like, I told you so. And now this weekend, I actually got mine from God. It was like, I told you. Like, I told you, why are you doubting yourself? Like, stop doubting yourself, because it's already there. It's already there. Now it's just to accept it and make sure you go ahead on with change. But I'm going to give you 10 benefits to change. And I'm telling you, I'm enjoying the change. I definitely got to change out of this wig because my hair under here is sweating like crazy. So, the number one benefit to change, and it's no particular order, but it is what it is personal growth. I am sweating. That is crazy. I'm in the kitchen. Of course, I will be sweating, but I ain't cooking. Personal growth. I'm definitely a big fan of personal growth and self development. From my mentors, my close mentors, to now my mentors from afar that I have, and the added mentors from afar that I have gained this weekend. And it's crazy because this weekend, like some of them was like, reach out to me. And it's just like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, DM me, like, send me your messages. I want to know more. And here it goes. I was like, I don't know if I should do it. And then, like I said, got that slap in the back of the head. It's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So, reaching out to all my mentors from afar. So, soon they won't be just mentors from afar, might be a little closer. I might not be able to, you know, really do a whole lot, but at least I'll have a better conversation with them. This fly is killing me. But personal growth is so important when it comes to change because when it when you have that change, you're gonna grow personally, especially when you have a positive change. And people tell me that they seen a change in me. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a change. Like, I don't worry about what people think. I really don't care. Even though one thing that did just trip me out, it actually didn't happen Friday. It happened the day before. That people would tell me that I'm intimidating, and it's like, yeah, so. But it's like, no, I'm not really intimidating. It's just that I'm very observant. Like, I'm standoffish because I don't know who's around me. So it's like I need to make sure that everybody's good. So the people I'm with, they know how I am. So they know, they're like, no, she's quiet, she's good, she's fine. But I'm observing everything. Trust me, I'm watching everything in every corner. I'm watching what you say. I'm watching what you do. I'm watching what this person's doing over here because you just don't know when stuff jumps off, right? But when it comes to that, before I used to be real, like you really couldn't say anything to me. Now it's like when I got to this area where I was at with my friends, and they was like, this particular person was never the way they was quiet this night, right? They was quiet. Usually they're talkative. They say they're talkative and things like that. So we was asking like, well, what changed? Like, why was they so quiet? Quiet because you and your friend walked in, and we're just like, oh, okay, well, we used to that. We work for the city, so what we do for the city, we have to go into have to go into the projects. And one of the projects we worked for was like pretty gruesome. Not only did I work for them, I used to grow up, I used to hang out in the projects. I knew people that lived there in this particular one. So it was like, I know what it is. So you can't come in there a certain way. You got to make sure your demeanor kind of shows a whole lot. But it's like when we got there, and one of my friends was like, yeah, it was both of y'all that just made him change, but it was more you, Boogie. It's like, here y'all go again with that. And then the whole table was like, nah, it was you. It was like you. Like, I'm like, I don't know what it is. Is it because I'm tall? I'm tall like an Amazon? Yeah, I know that. So it's just to notice that, to actually see it, that I do intimidate people to really change up themselves, because you're not going to act crazy, because trust me, crazy knows crazy, and I can give it to you just as bad as you want to get it. But number two with the benefits of change is flexibility. You definitely need to be flexible when it comes to change, because you won't freak out when something happens unexpectedly. So you want to be flexible. That's a benefit. You want to be flexible when it comes to change, because any little thing can happen. You want to change how you're doing when it comes to your finances, how you doing, that you're going to step out and start a business, you know. But what if it, when you step out, it doesn't go the way you want and you freaking out? You're like, oh my gosh, I done put this money out and now I'm not getting a return. But when you slowly get into it, and because you're flexible with it, you're not going to truly go crazy, because it's like, okay, I knew this was going to happen, so let me see what I have to do. So I just may have to adjust. So you're being flexible, right? Number three. Number three is improvements, right? So improvements when it comes to your finances, your jobs, your partner, house, etc., right? So without change, there would be no improvements. Don't you think? So you need to make sure that these improvements happen, because improvements is a part of change. That's exactly what change is, so to speak. You're improving yourself, you're improving the situation. Number four. Number four is life values. So, life values change make you reevaluate your life and look at things in a different perspective, right? So when it comes to change, you end up thinking like, okay, let's say for instance, you have people that you've grown up with, and you're like, we've been road dogs for so long and always gonna be hanging out, but then you start getting open up to other things and other people, and you see that's like, what, my friends is always my friends from the past or when I was younger. They're not really where I want to be right now or who I'm trying to become. So it makes you reevaluate what you want to do with your life, what you want to be in your life, with who you want to be around in your life, and if you have kids and so forth and another. But it's like you want to know, wow, I just it amazes me the messages you get, right? But that's it. Um, so you want to make sure that you reevaluate your life, that you will reevaluate your life when it comes to change, because you're gonna constantly be looking and like, what, this is not where I want to be. This is not who I want to be around. I'm ready to check out some new life values for my life. Number five. Number five is the snowball effect. And with that is, we give up because we cannot accomplish the difficult task, right? Of making this huge and immediate change. So instead, when it comes to the snowball effect, you make small changes which will gradually add up to this major big change. So that's a benefit. You want to do the snowball effect, because a lot of times people might do a rapid change, like I said before, and it's like a shock to their system. And what you would want to do is to do a snowball effect. You want to do a little at a time. So it's not even about them, it's about you making sure that you're gradually getting used to this new change in your life. Number six. Number six is strength. You know, strength, overcoming tough periods will make you stronger. So you have so much going on. I know for me, being a single mom, being a full time business owner, being a full time employee, which that was going to be changing soon. I'm a full time caregiver of my mom. Like my shoulders, I always say my shoulders is so heavy for carrying so much. But every time I just tell part of my story, or people just know that's going on, and they're just like, L, like you was one of the strongest women I know. Like you really are one of the strongest women I know, and I'm just like, I'm tired of being strong, but I know I have to have this strength, because this strength is a part of my change, and I'm gonna be constantly changing. And people will say a whole lot of stuff. People have said things about change, so to speak. I've been told that I had an ego. It's like, wow, me of all people have an ego. That's interesting. Um, that I don't know how to talk to people. I was like, I don't know how to talk to people. I just don't talk. Plain and simple. But it's always come back to, I have that strength. And I'm glad that I have gotten that strength from my mom. My whole entire, my mother's whole side is the epitome of strength. My grandmother, on my father's side, was the epitome of strength, and it's just like I have all of them. Aunts, uncles, grandmother, great grandmother. I have all of that. Like, strength is good because it helped me overcome some of the toughest times that I went through. And I know it's probably some more tough times coming to me, but at least I know I'll be able to handle it better. You'll be able to handle things better with that strength because you changed, because you stepped out of that comfort zone. That strength is going to help you get through so much. Number seven. Number seven is progress. Progress is basically change triggers progress. So things move forward because of them. So you want to make sure that you're progressing with your change. See how simple that is? You're gonna progress with your change. So just because you're changing doesn't mean that you're going to stay still in that change. You're going to constantly evolve. Think of that word again. You're going to constantly progress when it comes to change because change triggers progress. Whew. Number eight. Number eight is opportunities. Of course, when it comes to change, opens up a world of opportunities, right? So you thinking, of course, I'm going to use my business, right? So you thinking it's like, you know what? It's time for me to get my finances together. It's time for me to get my credit together. I'm trying to buy a house. I'm trying to buy a car. I'm trying to make sure my kids have college funds. I'm trying to make sure that we have money that lasts us not till the end of the month, but we have it for a lifetime. So this happens when you decide, like, you know what, it's time for a change. So now I'm opening myself up to new opportunities. And you want to make sure that you get those opportunities in check. You take advantage of those opportunities for you because you don't want to be one of those that say, you know what, I could have did that. I should have did that. Why didn't I do that? Oh, I could have had that. And then you turn out to be one of those haters out there. And they be like, oh, well, you only did that because of such and such. No, I did that because I decided to change and I didn't want to be broke anymore. So I decided to become a business owner and start having multiple streams of income and getting into so much stuff that after this, I just remembered I have to call my sister to get an update on something. All these opportunities is such a phenomenal thing. Like I said, I had made connections at Women Involved. Now, mind you, I'm making these connections virtual, and it's like you say one thing and they ask you, it was just like, tell what you're passionate for. And I said my passion is to help single parents become or gain generational wealth. Oh my goodness. Like, wow. I was getting messages and I got text messages. I got inbox, like, because we had little breakout sessions. So we had it was a couple of us in the breakout rooms. So now we that's in was in that breakout room. Now we have our own email thread where we talk to each other, things like that. And they're like, I want to know more. It was just amazing. But had I not took the opportunity to change and not do and be a part of this virtual event, this would have never happened. So I'm so glad I took a part of this opportunity to change and be better. Number nine. Number nine is new beginnings. So with each change, it's like a turning of the page. And you're not going to get to the end of the book. You don't want to rush and get to the end of the book first and read what happened. Like, oh, see, I knew that was going to happen. No, you're going to turn the page. But because we have a blank book, we can write what we want to happen. We want to write and make sure that we put it out there that this is going to happen when it comes to new beginnings. And if you didn't know, that's what Nove stands for, is new beginnings. So that coincides right there. But you want to make sure that you are turning the pages. Sometimes you go back to read, you look back and be like, I remember that. I remember when I did that. And you read certain things in previous chapters, previous pages, but you don't want to stay there. Because what happens if you go back to that comfort zone, you're not going to grow. You're not going to move. You're going to go back to what was comfortable. And probably what was comfortable made you miserable. But you was just so comfortable. You would rather just be comfortable and get out of it than to stay in there and just be like, I'm going to stay here, be comfortable. But if I get out, I don't know what to expect. No, we definitely gonna change and get some new beginnings because I'd rather deal with what I'm not gonna know what's happened than to deal with something that's just gonna make me sick and I might end up doing something that might put me in an orange jumpsuit, things like that. But number 10, and lastly, benefits of change will bring about your routines. So it brings about news break. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read about what I said. Oh, it breaks up being predictable, right? So when you have your routine every day, you do something in particular, and it's every single day at this particular time you do it. When it comes to change, you're breaking up the monotony of doing something that's predictable. Like some people, I know if they driving, they won't drive the same way every time to go home because you never know who's following you or when you walking home, things like that. So going different ways of going home, things like that, you breaking up the change, right? But you breaking up the routine. I'm sorry. But when you're doing that, you're being led to where you actually want to be. So if you keep taking the same steps, same steps, same steps, it's gonna lead you down the same path that you've been going on, right? The same path that had you going, and you know what's on the end of that path, which is nothing. But if you decide to switch up your routine, you might go right, you might go left, you might go down, you might go up. It's so many different things. But you might not end up on that same path because you don't know what you see when you go right and when you go left. When you go right, you could see something and you're just like, wow, I kind of like the way this is going. Or you look left and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is great. But if I go straight, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the same headaches, the same tiredness. I'm not going to have what I want. And I'm just going to be sitting there just, oh my goodness, woe is me and all that. It's no time for that woe is me. No time. We want to make sure that we get to where you want to be. I'm going to get to where I want to be because I have people in my life that I can pour into and they can pour into me. And only certain ones can talk a certain way, but everybody, you know, we all alphas. I know, damn it, I'm an alpha female, but I know how to make sure to listen as well, you know. But before I go, I wanted to give these birthday shout outs. I wanted to give a very, very, very special birthday shout out to my godmother, Mary. I haven't seen her in a while, her and my mom like this. So with this virus, I'm hoping that I can get the two of them together. Just having them two around together, it brings back a lot of memories to hear, especially when my dad was alive and he used to tell stories and they all used to hang out and it was just like amazing. And then once I had my son, even though she's my godmother, my son basically took her as his godmother, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I had her first. She's always gonna be mine. But special, special, special happy birthday to my godmommy, whose birthday was yesterday. Also, I want to give a birthday shout out to my godson. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Z. You is still a bad boy, but I love you dearly. I owe you a lot. So make sure I gotta make sure to get your mom's information again. He is only 8 years old today, but I remember the day he was born. It was so crazy because We just rushed up there. After he had him the day he was born, I made sure to see him. And I haven't seen him in a while, but he was away and now he's back. So I have to make sure to wish my godson a happy birthday. And last but not least, I definitely have to give a shout out to my brother from another, Mr. Jerry Goins. Happy birthday, bro. Uh, we've been through it. You're my big brother, even though I'm older, not by much. But I appreciate everything you've done for me. You've done for O. You've definitely been a guiding light for him, and I so appreciate it. So I have some stuff for you coming, and I so appreciate it. So happy birthday, bro! And that is it. I'm out of here. It is gone. It's gone. It's gone. So you guys have a great weekend, great Sunday, a great week. You know, just make sure that you tune in, share this broadcast because people, it's not just for you. People out there are struggling, and I'm hoping if they look at this and they see this and it's like, you know what, I do need to change. I don't need to be where I am. Boogie is right. L is right. I need to make sure I get with this change, but I'm scared. Just go back and watch this replay, and it's gonna be okay. So with that being said, you guys have a great one. I'm gonna go find my family something to eat because it's hot, and I will check y'all later. Peace.